In the world of music, there are always going to be people who have it, meaning that they have the ability to make music and sing it in a way that makes them special and helps them stand out from the crowd. One of these people is absolutely Avril Lavigne, because despite having an atypical name, she went on to become one of the most popular singers out there at a relatively young age. She was just 16 when she made millions off of a contract deal, and while she may not be as popular now, she's still out there singing with the voice that brought her to the table. Allow us to show you Avril Lavigne, then and now. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Her early days. Lavigne was born in 1984 in Belleville, Ontario, Canada. She was named Avril, the French word for the month of April, by her father. He and Lavigne's mother recognized their child's vocal abilities when she was 2 years old and sang "Jesus Loves Me" on the way home from church, showing that at a really young age, she had the gift. Her parents supported her singing. Her father bought her a microphone, a drum kit, a keyboard, and several guitars, and he converted their basement into a studio. When Lavigne was 14 years old, her parents took her to karaoke sessions. Lavigne performed at county fairs, singing songs by Garth Brooks, The Chicks, and Shania Twain. She also began writing her own music. Her first song was called "Can't Stop Thinking About You," about a teenage crush, which she described as cheesy cute.
Can't stop thinking of you, boy, with everything you do. You take my breath away.
It's easy to laugh at things like this, but everyone has to start somewhere. And the fact that her parents were willing to go and support her like this and encourage her to write and sing music meant a lot to her, no doubt. Plus, it would pay off hugely very soon. Shania Twain and first music. In 1999, Lavigne won a radio contest to perform with the Canadian singer Shania Twain at the Choral Centre in Ottawa before an audience of 20,000 people. Twain and Lavigne sang Twain's song, "What Made You Say That?" Upon meeting her, she noted to Twain that she too wanted to be a famous singer one day. And we certainly hope that Shania encouraged her to reach for the stars with her dreams. During a performance with the Lenox Community Theater, Lavigne was spotted by local folk singer Stephen Med. He invited her to contribute vocals on his song, "Touch the Sky," for his 1999 album, Quinte Spirit. She later sang on "Temple of Life" and "Two Rivers" for his follow-up album, My Window to You, in 2000. Again, it's easy to look at these and make jokes, but it really did pay off, because during one of those sessions, she met Cliff Fabry. Cliff Fabry was Avril's first manager and saw her singing country music covers at a place once and decided to send VHS tapes of her to various record labels to see if they were interested. Many were. Some wanted to hear her sing in person. Some wrote songs with her. And then eventually, Arista Records had her do a 15-minute audition that was apparently so good that she got signed to a 2-album deal with them that was going to be worth $2 million. Did we mention she was only 16 at the time? Because she was. After signing the deal, she went and left school so she could focus solely on her music career, which was fine by her, because she honestly didn't feel comfortable in school, stating that it made her feel insecure. We can sympathize with that feeling. Complicated. So her career instantly took off from there, right? Well, no. Actually, she and the record label struggled to go and make a sound for her. After all, they didn't just want her to sing like everyone else. She wanted to stand out. The record label gave her different producers and writers, but nothing really clicked. Then she went to Los Angeles and entered The Matrix. We mean teamed up with The Matrix production team, a very famous musical collection. And it was with them that Avril made one of her most famous songs ever in Complicated, her debut track.
Chill out, what she yelling for?
Once her sound was found, she went on to go and make her debut album in Let Go. Lavigne released Let Go in June of 2002 in the US, where it reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 albums chart. It peaked at number 1 in Australia, Canada, and the UK. This made Lavigne, at 17 years old, the youngest female soloist to have a number 1 album on the UK albums chart at that time. Pretty impressive, no? especially when you consider that it eventually went on to sell over 16 million copies, 7 million of which were in the US alone. And she was just getting started. Under My Skin. After the initial success of Let Go, more singles from Lavigne released, including a fan favorite in Skater Boy, one that tied into her image as a skater, and I'm With You.
He was a skater boy, she said see you later boy, he wasn't good.
Lavigne's second studio album, Under My Skin, was released in May 2004 and debuted at number 1 in Australia, Canada, Japan, the UK, and the US, further cementing just how good she was and how people wanted to listen to her tracks. It sold over 10 million units in its lifetime. Lavigne said that Under My Skin proved her credentials as a songwriter, saying that each song comes from a personal experience of mine, and there are so much emotions in those songs. That's absolutely something you want to hear from an artist, that they have true connections to their songs and aren't just singing random tracks. She would go on to do some big collaborations with singers and movies, including co-writing the Kelly Clarkson hit song Breakaway, teaming up with the Goo Goo Dolls, and singing the theme song for the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie, For Real. More albums and tracks. Lavigne's third album, The Best Damn Thing, was released in April 2007 and debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200, and subsequently achieved platinum status in Canada. The album sold more than 2 million copies in the US. Its lead single, Girlfriend, became Lavigne's first number 1 single on the US Billboard Hot 100, and one of the decade's biggest singles. As she continued on, she not only got recognition for her tracks and albums, but won awards for her talent, both in the US, Canada, and internationally. She also performed at not 1, but 2 Olympic Games ceremonies, sang tracks for various movies like Aragon and the first live-action Alice in Wonderland film, and more. In short, she was doing very well, and that would continue for a while. She experimented with things, dared to try different kinds of music, and even added her tracks to anime, believe it or not. One Piece, look it up. Her more recent stylings. Moving into the more recent times, Avril is still making music, as well as fashion and fragrances, and has done a bunch of collaborations with people you might not expect. Lavigne was featured in the song Listen from Japanese rock band One OK Rock's 8th studio album, Ambitions, in 2017, as well as helping a duo with their debut EP known as Chameleon. She also did a re-edit of one of her more famous tracks to go and support COVID-19 relief. As for what she's working on right now, she's aiming to get another album out in this current year. Flames, a collaboration between Mod Sun and Lavigne, was eventually released on January 8th. It's doubtful that she'll have the same impact now as she did in the beginning of her career, but she's clearly still loving making music, and that's enough for her to keep going. Legacy. She was a young girl with a great voice who was encouraged by her parents to go and pursue her dreams, and that led to her going and making hit music all over the world, being honored by getting awards and performing at the Olympics, going and showing the power of Canadian singers, and more. She's done a lot for music, a lot more than people realize, and that should serve as an inspiration to others, especially those young talents who wonder if they can make it at a young age. Yes, you can. No need to make it complicated. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Avril Lavigne and the career she carved out for herself both then and now? How long have you been a fan of Avril Lavigne? What is your favorite song that she did, or performance that she gave? Do you think she'll be remembered fondly in the realms of music when she's done? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.